All right, so we're just going to go a little bit deeper into proofs and into figuring out how to do them and what triangle congruence is going to help us. So take a look at these pages. Once again, see if you can figure out why they're congruent, or if they are congruent, say why they are, and then if you can, give them a triangle congruence statement as well. So let's start with these first 8. We want to be able to tell if they are or are not congruent if we have enough information, and if they are, then write what that information is. So this first one, by the given information, is going to be side angle side. But just a quick note, because of the vertical angles here, you could also do angle side if you wanted to, or angle side angle. There's enough information to do either one of those. All right, this next one's going to be angle side angle as well. It might be a little bit tempting to do RHL, but we do not have hypotenuse congruent, so we can't use RHL on this one. Also note we have 2 angles and 1 side, and RHL is composed of 2 sides and 1 angle. Number 3, we've got side, side, side with our reflexive side. And number 4, not enough info. This is another one that's set up to be angle, side, side, but remember ASS is not enough information to prove triangles congruent. All right, number 5, we have angle, side, angle. Number 6, not enough info. And this is another tough one. And we have enough information for angle, angle, angle. But note, none of the 5 theorems are angle, angle, angle. You need at least one side to prove they're congruent. So this one's going to be not enough information. All right, number 7 is also going to be not enough info. And this one is just very weird to look at. If you look at this first triangle right here, you can see it's in the format of side, angle, side, with the side, the angle, and the side. But if we then look at this next one, the second angle, it's in the formation of angle, side, angle, or I'm sorry, angle, side, side, with ASS. And so that's not going to be enough information because those aren't in the same order. And remember, ASS isn't something, so we don't have quite enough information to do anything there. And this next one is going to be, again, angle, side, angle, because we've got the right angle, the side, and then we also have this angle. And because those exterior angles are congruent, we know the interior ones are as well. However, if you did some sort of AAS or side angle side, that would also work because we do know we have that reflexive line right there as well. So that's a pretty good test there. Those were a little bit tougher, especially those not enough information ones. But if you were able to do that, you're probably looking pretty good for this. So now this bottom part, we just want to add in those congruence theorems as we go. So for example, we are going to say this one's going to be triangle RMP is congruent to triangle SMP. And we're going to say that's true by side, angle, side. Because once again, we have a pair of sides congruent, we have a pair of angles congruent, and then we have that reflexive side congruent as well. So side, angle, side. So go ahead and go through these. Try your best with these triangle congruency statements. I will say there are different possibilities for them. So I did RMP, but there's a good chance maybe you did PRM. It's congruent to PSM. There are different ways you can do it, so just because it doesn't match it exactly, that should be okay. It should still match the order of the letters. So if you did MPR, notice that's my 2, 3, 1, my second, my third, my first letter. So then over here, it should match my second, my third, and my first letter, so MPS. These are good practice to go through. Make sure you're starting to get the feel for these. My answer key is posted for this, so go ahead and take a look at the other notes that are posted in Schoology to see if you're doing okay with these and if you got them right. All right, this top part, just once again, more kind of practicing this skill, making sure that you're able to do it. I want to get to part 2 here, though, because this also tests your skill a little bit with RHL, which we really haven't talked a whole lot about. So go ahead and see if you can figure out how these are congruent and write the reasoning. Go ahead and pause the video, and we'll see how you did. All right, so this first one's going to be side, angle, side. We have the side, we have the angle, and then we have that reflexive side. So side, angle, side, the angle's in between the two sides. Number 2, we're going to have side, angle, side. Once again, we have 2 legs here, so it can't be RHL. I know we have right angles, but we do know right angles are congruent because of the right angle theorem that's on the front of your page. So we have a side, and then we have an angle, and then we have that reflexive side, so side, angle, side. So question 3 is my first RHL. Once again, we have right angles, so that's the first part of it. We have our hypotenuse is congruent. Remember, hypotenuse is the side across from the right angle. And then we have one pair of legs congruent. And once again, it doesn't matter which pair. So it could be the reflexive side here, or it could be the other side. It doesn't matter as long as we have at least one pair there. And we do have that reflexive leg. So we have RHL. And then this last one's going to be angle, side, angle, due to our right angles that we have congruent by the right angle theorem, our sides that were marked with the tick mark, and then our vertical angles here for angle, side, angle. There's actually 2 more on the next page to do as well, so go ahead and turn. All right, so for number 5 here, we have RHL again. So notice we have right angles, we have the hypotenuses, which are congruent, which are the blue segments, and then we have the legs that are congruent as well. Okay, so I know kind of going through this a little bit quickly, and that's because I know some of you are doing really well with this, where others of you need more practice. And I promise you the only way you're going to get good at this is by doing that more practice. So do any of the problems that I haven't done, then check the notes for the answer key so that you're able to check your work, make sure you're doing okay. This next one that we're going to move on to is going to be to actually start doing some proofs. So you're going to want to make sure that you're good with that first problem of getting to know which triangle congruence theorem it is, because if you can't figure that out, then you're really going to struggle with this part. But if you're feeling pretty good, then you can move on, and let's do this next part.